Today we're going to talk about the taker board, how to track numbers, how to follow up, how to discover 3 or 4-legged deals. I think you'll really like the taker board because it's very visual and very intuitive. I'm sure that you're like me and everybody else that you want to get the most from every meeting that you go to. I also think that if you understand the meeting process, and that means the back end, the front end, and what goes on in the meeting, you're much better prepared and you'll understand that process and you'll be able to get a whole lot more from the meeting. And that's the same with the taker board. When you understand why things are important and how it builds the process, in this case, how to build stacks, then you'll understand the meeting process and you will want to participate. The taker board is very dynamic. It's a solution for discovering parties that are interested in your assets, and that's why we all come to the meetings, is because we want to find people that are interested in your client's properties. It's designed for fast-paced meetings. It offers real-time changes, and it allows you to be able to visually see 3 or 4 legs and possibilities of even more. So when you come to a meeting, when you sign up, when you pay your dues and you enter your property into the system, every participant automatically has a taker board. And these boards are very visual, very easy to understand. And when you get through building the stacks, then your client can have anything on the board. Now, here's a fact that we all know. We just kind of dismiss it at times, and the meeting sometimes gets overwhelming. But if you do not present, you will not get takers, and that's a pretty well known fact. And when you come to the meeting, it's about offering the client choices, so you want to present because you want takers. Here's a card that I pulled up. All the information on the card is pulled directly from when you inputted your listing into the system. And all that information that you inputted into the system is pulled into your card. Now, what you see on the screen now is 4 people that have offered in on the client's property. So this person, 108-3, has made a presentation, and the moderator has called for numbers. And the numbers are coming in, the member ID and the package number, and so their cards are brought into your cards. And so now you have 4 direct takers. What you see on the left-hand side of the screen is a stack, and that means that that person has already previously presented their property and they had 3 takers. And those 3 takers are now brought into your system. And stacks are generated when others present. When they present, if they have made offers on your property, then all of their cards, their takers, are then brought into your card. So now the client can have anything in the stack. So the stacks have been built, and you can see that you've gone from 4 direct takers, which is one-on-one deals, to a lot more takers that you can see on the screen. Now, you see the 3 different colored cards on the screen in the stacks, and these stacks are where the system has recognized a one-on-one transaction from the first row, because the first row has already presented their properties, they have got takers, and now the presenter is presenting their property, and they're also getting takers, and the system recognizes when there is a one-on-one deal. So there may be a transaction there if you're willing to pursue it. So every package is very descriptive, it's very intuitive, and on these packages you can see almost everything about that property that you need to know to make a deal, and you can click on any card and go in the stack and you can go directly to that person's property. The direct takers are the first row, and all those first row takers will result in a one-on-one deal. And then you see the stacks. The stacks are generated in your system from those people that have already presented their property. They have presented and they've got takers. And now when you present, and they call out their number that they're interested in your property, then all of their takers are also brought into your system, and now your client can have anything on the board. Now the taker board is very fast, it's very dynamic. It's a great counseling tool because now you can sit down with your client and you can discover maybe additional things about the client that you were not able to get in the beginning. And the client will be able to understand the taker board and visually see properties that they might have an interest in. So how's it work? First, you have to sign up for the meeting. You have to put your listings in the book, and the listings, you have to fill them out. You have to fill out the form. You have to have the pictures brought in. And then the taker board will add participants. They will add assets, which are your packages. And you can add as many packages as you want. Now, everyone has a member ID. That's how the system works. And everyone has a package number. If you have a listing in the book, then you have a package number. If you're a member of the group, then you have a member ID. And then if you have listings in the book, then you have package numbers. And so how the system works and how the system builds the stacks is that you always call out your member ID along with the package that you're presenting to the person at the podium. And then you start to build the stacks. When you build the stacks, then you'll be able to see exactly what your client might have an interest in. So bring in your assets. This is a screenshot of the taker board, and it shows all of your listings and the numbers on them. And the system operator can look at each board and each property and quickly go to that asset and see what it is or add it to your taker board. So bring in all of your properties and personal, real property options. Use your equity to make a deal. Now, when you're at the podium, you start with an asset. This is the property that you're presenting during a 5-minute presentation. Then at the end of that presentation, the moderator will call for numbers. And you've got 4 numbers on the screen, and those 4 numbers are direct takers. And if your client was interested in one of those properties, then you would have a one-on-one deal. One thing about the taker board is you see those 4 people that have offered in on the 101-1. Those could be your next presenters if you wanted to do it that way. Or your next presenter might be the person that has signed up previously on the list of people that's wanting to be moderated. But the first row are direct takers. They're interested parties, and that would result in a one-on-one deal if your client wanted one of those 4 properties. Now, the reason you have the stacks is because a lot of times your client just does not feel that any of those 4 on the first row would fit their needs or their wants. And so now it's time to do what we call skidding the rig. In other words, to build the stacks, I want to know who is interested in one of those 4 properties on the screen. When you find out who's interested in those properties, then you offer your client many, many more choices, and that's called skidding the rig. So skidding the rig, we've gone from 4 direct takers, which is a one-on-one deal, to 28 potential deals, and that's the taker stack. And that's what you want. You want to be somewhere in that taker stack. You want to be in that taker stack because then that person at the top of the board, that client, can have anything in the stack, and they may be able to choose your property. So you want to be in that taker stack. To build stacks, you must present, and if you present, then you will get taker numbers. In this case, this person has 4 direct takers, which is a one-on-one deal. And when you see the stacks there, you'll see that 2 of those people have previously presented, and all of their takers are now added to your system. And so now you can see how that bringing in these other properties means that your client can have anything on the screen. So when the people that don't have the stack present, then all their takers will then be brought into your card. So it tracks interested parties. It's good for all your meetings. You'll discover things that you didn't know about the taker board, and you'll discover new ways to use it. So let me know how you find out how it works and how you like it, and some of the problems and things that you might have, or things that might make the taker board better. You can get a hold of me at info@montrosecommercial.com. And thanks for watching, and I'll be making more videos on some of the ins and outs of the taker board and how to make it very good for your meetings. So thanks for watching.